How is your heart today? That is the pressing question for today's energy. To visit the sacred space of our heart and really ask that question. How is my heart today? So in today's tarot, we'll pull out some cards to see what is going on in the sacred space of our heart. But before we do that, I want you to get clear around that within yourself. Know that this is just guidance, but the most important guidance that you can receive is the one with yourself, is the internal dialect that you have with yourself, your ability to have transparency with you. And as I sit with this energy for myself and for us as the collective, there is this need to visit the deepest, most sacred parts of ourselves. And as we do so and visit this space, to do so with love and compassion. And there's something around forgiveness, but not in the way in which you've once forgiven, in a different way, in a way where you see yourself completely, in a way that you really hold yourself with the reverence and the unconditional love that you are worthy of having. So before we begin that, let's cleanse ourselves. And I send over to you some beautiful sage energy. And anything that feels heavy, that we release it. You know, yesterday was the full moon in Aquarius, and we have a whole bunch of other stuff happening energetically and in the planets and the solar system, right? And every day there's a new Noal, which is the ruler of the day in the Mayan calendar, which I also follow. And we begin with justice. And that'll be things I'll be sharing as I feel more like I learn more around it with us here. So we begin with justice, the Knight of Wands. You know what's interesting? Before I turned on the camera, when I shuffled the cards and cleansed them for us, I kept seeing the Justice and I kept seeing the Knight of Wands, right? So I find it really interesting. And I saw the Fool as well. Let's see if that comes out. We have here the Two of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, and the King of Wands all in reverse. So as we sit with today's energy, wow, the cards are just really coming out. We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse, Two of Cups in reverse, and the King of Pentacles in reverse. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Let's see what we have. The Page of Cups in reverse in the bottom. Okay. So there's a lot happening in your heart. And the thing is, it's time to look at it. Let's see. I want you to see this a little bit better. Yeah. Okay. I tried. Um, there's a lot going on in the heart that I feel like it also is reflecting a shift in yourself. There is some deep pain that you've endured over your lifetime, and you have moved on, but you necessarily haven't fully forgiven yourself and forgiven the situation itself. There's another way of seeing what you have endured, and you might even be feeling like you're having dreams that have similar themes, and you're waking up feeling kind of heavy in your heart center. And this is because your spirit is trying to get your attention, and the only way to get your attention at this time has been through making you feel things. Because you're not sitting and meditating, or you're not sitting and allowing the space. And even if you are meditating, you're not opening up your heart completely. You're just doing. And there's this need to put like a principle behind your doing, right? Like there is a lot of energy around getting things done, and that's the energy right now, especially with all this planetary stuff happening. There's a lot of introspection, there's a lot of things in the face, right? Like this internal mirror facing us face to face. And what we're needing is to look at it directly, to look at it from a place of, it's almost like detachment, right? There's a level of detachment in it. And in doing so, in having that level of detachment, also still recognizing it was you that went through this cycle, right? So in the beginning, we have here, well, actually, let's start with the what we don't see. What we don't see is what's underneath the deck here, that Page of Cups, right? And the Page of Cups is about like this new beginning, but not starting from the beginning. It's a new beginning in the same thing. So it's like maybe going to school again, right? To study a topic, to master the topic, but it's not a brand new topic to you, but you're now getting a deeper knowing. This is what is needed with the heart, to look at your heart like a school, to look at your heart as a guide, as a teacher, and not to fight with your heart and be like, oh, you're aching and I'm sad and why am I in pain? Yes, and your heart is telling you something, and it's time to look at it face to face. And as you look at it, it there's some stuff that needs to be put to rest, right? There's some way of how you maybe been seeing things, and it was helping you for a moment of time because it helped you get over it. It's like, well, I'm moving past this relationship, they're not good for me. And you've walked away, and you've released yourself from it, but there's still pain that's visited within you because there's still a part of you that needs to surrender so that you can welcome in a new path. You've been asking for new love, for new career, for new relationships, right? Like you've been asking for renewal in your health. You've been asking, for faith and guidance, for clarity in your direction. And the thing is, like, it's here for you, but it can't come in because you have a way of looking at things that you can't see this message clearly. This guidance that is coming to you, that is right in front of you, facing you face to face. And the thing is, it doesn't matter if you go to another healer, it doesn't matter if you go to a shaman, it doesn't matter if you go to a guru. The message is coming through you. They're going to tell you the same thing I'm sharing with you now. You have to look at your heart. There is something weighing on your heart. There's a level of forgiveness that you have not allowed yourself to obtain. And the forgiveness is about setting yourself free. It's not like, oh, I just forgive that person. This is about an internal forgiveness. Like, it's bigger than like, oh, I stayed too long. The forgiveness is like, I forgive myself for stopping myself from moving forward now. I let go of all the burdens that are in front of me. I surrender to the way I once saw things and allow for new ways of awareness, of enlightenment to come forward so that I can move on the next journey. Right? Like there's this need to go deeper. There's also like needing to see the importance of cleansing yourself and having your prayers, right? Like your everyday talk with spirit, with your higher self. That is so necessary right now. Let me see what we have. Wow. Under the Page of Cups, right under that, we have the Ten of Cups, which is like happy family, happy connection. So it's like this new path of seeing things differently is going to free you in a way where you then allow yourself to accept new friendships, new love, new connections, new partnerships, new career, right? New ideas that you never thought about. It's like a little tweaking, a little, it's like you're right there, like you're so freaking close. But in order for you to get there, you have to be willing to turn things around. Have the deep conversations with yourself, journal with yourself, talk with yourself, not just like from the pain point, but from the guide, right? Letting your intuitive guide come through. With the Justice and the Knight of Wands, I want you to see something. The Knight of Wands is charging towards the Justice. See that? The Knight of Wands is charging towards the Justice, and it's not like zoom fast, but it's pretty fast, right? It's going the speed limit in the highway, right? So if it's 55 miles per hour, you're going 60, you're within the range, right? You're not going too fast, but you're also not going so slow that the momentum is moving, and this is your spirit that's moving you forward. It's the part of you that is like the integration of the adolescence, like you're moving from the childhood pain and wound and version of yourself into the young adult, not necessarily still the full, mature, wise one. That's why you're looking at the Justice, because something inside of you still needs maturing. And it doesn't matter how old you are. You could be 60 years old right now watching this video, 70, whatever. But there's a part of you that has been stuck in a fragmented time. And now you are moving forward, and the charging forward is through the spirit and is looking towards the divine justice, and it's like it's time for me to set myself free. It's not about somebody else, it's not about anything else, it's literally about setting me free, because when I set myself free, the path gets clear. I'm still holding on to the pain of something, because there's like, you went through a pain and you're like, I'm never going to go through that again. And it has shaped now you in a way, it has shaped you in a way that you have walls up, and you're being, and those walls are causing you delays, they're causing you friction, they're causing you to continue old patterns. Okay, the second line, we have the Two of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, and the King of Wands, and they're all in reverse. So to me, this is like blind spots, right? Like it's like blind spots within the blind spots. Right? And as this full moon energy is still here in Aquarius, what we can harness with this full moon energy, which is really great about Aquarius, is detachment. You are too detached to your pain. You are too attached to your pain, and you're being asked to detach from the pain so that you can move forward. And it's removing or detaching the pain does not mean that then you are now allowing or accepting that old way of what you went through to come back. It's not saying that. Detachment is you releasing yourself from constantly ruminating in your mind around it. That in your sleep, it is haunting you, right? In the quiet moments that you do have, it comes up, right? When you have deep conversation, that pain comes up again. right? And this is a time to visit yourself with compassion and see that there's a level of forgiveness that you have not put in, right? With the King of Wands in reverse, is like you're not allowing your spirit to guide you in this. There's some pain with the masculine side of you. And so what is being called right now is to lean into the justice again, right? Justice is the only major arcana card here. And the major arcana cards are like archetypal experiences we all go through, right? At some moment in our life. And the minor arcanas are just like supporting factors to guide us through our everyday kind of experience. And the thing here is like with this major arcana being the first card that came up, the justice, there's a lot of energy between that. And in the justice card, let me show you. In one hand, there is the balance of the scale, and the other hand is the sword. The sword is connected to the words, to the way you think. There's sharpness in how you use your words. And you see that this being, this beautiful being, is sitting on some throne of justice. And there's two pillars. They're in between two pillars, which to me is like a gateway. There's a curtain behind them, which is like blocking the background. It's like you have to quiet down the background noise so that you can hear clearly. You have, like, there's something around that, like the background and quieting the background. And when I look at these cards from the second row, I want you to notice something here. The Two of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. There's things happening in the background, right? Like this Four of Pentacles, the cities in the background. Over here, they're looking at all of this stuff going on here. More like front, but there's like a city, and then there's water, and there's mountains. And with the wands, right, the chair is like is blocking the back, right? So again, here we are with this really needing to quiet down the background noise, right? Quiet down the noise of the city. It's time to look ahead, right? The Four of Pentacles, which is right in the center, that is the reverse. In reverse, the Four of Pentacles is like holding on too tightly to what you have. And that's the thing, is like you gotta como let go. You need to like release. This is a time of letting go of what you once thought, right? Underneath that, we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse, the Two of Cups in reverse, and another king here, the King of Pentacles in reverse. I would like actually this line to turn around, because the Three of Pentacles is about like working towards your goals, towards your projects. The Two of Cups is about showing your heart and receiving someone else's. So right now it's like you are so blocked off, and this is a time to ground yourself so that you can open up. Like, what is going on in your heart right now? I feel a lot of heaviness, right? And I don't want to be like, oh, negative on here. And I don't necessarily find this negative, but some people can find it, interpret this way. But I'm here to talk to those who are ready to hear and work through the message of their heart. There's someone, some situation that you gave a lot of yourself in. And it is not to be like, oh, I'm never going to give of myself like that again. It's not necessarily that. It was to see that you showed a part of yourself it feels like you showed just a part of yourself to someone who you thought would have reverence and more holding of your heart, and you feel kind of foolish or naive for letting them in. It's like you kind of like there's this betrayal, like a stabbing of your own heart. I'm feeling, and we got to remove that sword. We need to take it out. It actually feels like it's from behind you. It's like you got to energetically remove this sword of betrayal that you are, that of the way that you're seeing yourself, because there's something around like I showed my most vulnerable parts to this individual, right? And I never was able to show that part of myself to anyone. And I did to this individual. And I don't feel that they respected what I shared. They took that information and they saw me as weak instead of seeing that I was vulnerable and entrusting in them with my sacredness of my heart. And the thing is, it's not your fault that they can't hold the space for you. But it is time for you to call back your energy and have that deep conversation with yourself, right? You don't need an external person, energy, experience to validate what you feel. And that's the thing here, is like you're trying to act like it's like you're moved on and you're tough and brave, and we all want to do that, and your heart is aching because you've shown yourself and you did not receive what you thought you were going to receive back, which was like respect, reverence, real reflection of what you were experiencing, someone that would hold you without judgment. And that's not necessarily what you got. And I feel like it plays into like some wounds that you had in childhood where you were overcompensating and you thought, this time this person will see me, I won't repeat that. And the thing is, you have to be that for yourself first before you can just hand it over. Hey, hand it over to the rest. I don't know, he's doing scratching the wall, like, right? And so there's something about that here in today's message where it's like, as you visit your heart, to be honest with the truth around what's going on for you, right? The 10 of Cups is waiting for you. It's very close, right? So even though this feels like very hard at the moment and it's like, oh, like I thought I was over this, it's time to stop talking to yourself like that. And when things come up, you're like, oh, thank you for showing that you're there. Thank you, heart, for showing me what's going on. I'm listening to you. Because a part of your wound was being shunned and being quiet down, right? Where there was an ignoring of your own pain. There's also like, you have to see that in whatever connection you were in, that you were confiding in, um you, in that connection, somewhere along the lines, you overly enmeshed your identity and had let go of a part of yourself that was not meant to be let go. You were supposed to hold on to something about yourself, but you let it go because it was like, oh, I'm in this relationship or whatever. And the thing is, like, you're not supposed to let go of your own identity. You're supposed to bring your identity forward together in partnership. You're to enhance each other, not to diminish each other, right? So let's see what we have here as a supported message. Anything you would like to share with us at this time? Caring connections, number 14. This is what you've been like. I feel like I've been sitting with this today and sharing this around like a relationship. there is love for you, and the caring, loving connection is first with emerging yourself back to yourself. You got to bring yourself back, right? And that's going to bring up some emotions. It's going to bring up some tears. It's going to bring up some anger. But I feel like there's a heaviness here. There's some grief that is in the heart space. And we need to let that go so we can welcome in some new energy, right? Because there's divine connections here for you. Caring connections is someone who takes you as a part of them while still having their own identity, and you doing the same. See, what had happened in the past relationship is that you've taken on the other person, but then you abandon your own emotion, your own self, your own needs, your own projects, your own stuff. And it's like, I consider you as a part of me, right? Like if my partner is going through something, I'm not going to just be like, oh, that's you, and diddly dolly over here. I'm going to also have reverence for my partner, but and at the same time, not overstep my own personal goals and boundaries and my own self, right? It's like there's a part of you that has to learn how to balance that. And what is happening is that you go from one extreme to the other extreme, like you're just swinging that pendulum. And we need to slow down the pendulum to a more middle ground where there's like more of a balance, less of a big swing, and more of just like a little rocking, right? It's like if you're on a boat in the ocean, you don't want to be like shh. You want it to just smoothly rock through, right? And that's what we need to see. We need to bring our emotions to a little rocking. It's not a stillness, because we're not still beings, right? We're evolving beings, and we're made out of water. We're not a solid, even though we could be turned into a solid if we're becoming ice. But that isn't in our nature, right? And we don't want that. We are a liquid, which means we flow. There's movement. There isn't corners to it, right? So you have to define it as you feel it through. And that's the thing, is like, I feel like this is a beautiful message because it's giving you permission to speak to yourself, to listen to yourself, and also to listen to the hearts of those you love. Because you're going through it, other people are also going through it. So check in on your people today. Ask them, how is your heart today? What's going on in your heart today? I care about your heart. Is there anything I can support you with in reflection? Right? Because some people, they can't have the internal conversations with themselves. They need someone to provoke the question, right? I'm a generator, which is a person that is meant to respond to life. So if I don't have things to respond to, I kind of feel still until there needs to be response. And so something to respond to. So being asked questions really helps me see and go in. It doesn't necessarily mean I need you to answer them. I just need some soundboard, some reflecting. And a lot of us find ourselves in that. Like when you talk to a friend that you haven't spoken to in a long time, and then all this stuff comes on, you're like, I didn't even know I was holding on to all that. And it's because we are communal people, right? We're people of tribe. We're people of working together. We're not meant to be like isolated and just one self, even though we there are moments we need to be with ourselves, right? Like I'm a hermit optimist, what is it, opportunist, right? So I'm a 2-4 when it comes to my human design. Anyone who knows that. And a part of that is I need to go into the hermit to just let my creative flow come out. And then I get pulled out and share what I now created, right? And so that's where you see that I share the inner parts of like today's reflection is this, what's going on in your heart today, right? But in order for me to get there, I need to reflect first. I need to have that hermit interconnectiveness, that silent moment with myself, and ask the deep questions and let the spirit within me speak. The way that I get a lot of these inclinations about the energy of the day is that I let myself open up enough to receive what is needed in the moment. And I feel that I'm sharing that because you need to also take that in for yourself. What is it that I need? And drop the mind, right, for a moment, and drop and go into the heart, right? The heart has its own magnetic field, right? This has been proven. For those of you who know of heart math, they're an institute that talks about the all the energies and all the stuff that is connected to the sacred place of the heart. It has its own magnetic field. And so we are vibrating with two energetic grids at a time, right? We have our full body energetic grid of energetic frequencies, and then we have the heart that's also radiating and receiving other insights. And the thing is, like, we need to have them communicate, right? Not put one above the other, but recognize the communication, right? The language. And a lot of times we dismiss the heart part and we stay just on this surface level, but there's a deeper vibrational frequency that's happening from the heart that is teaching us. And that's where we can hear our ancestors. That is where we can hear our spirit guides. That's where we can hear our higher self speak to us, right? Like, have you ever been visited by your higher self before? It is quite a profound experience because it's almost like you see, you like, you recognize this is a familiar energy, and but at the same time you're like, it's different, right? And it is because it's your higher self. It's the part of you that has already gone through this moment and is giving you the courage, the moment to step up, right? Like, I once was doing some healing work around my heart, and I was in a lot of pain and I was crying and everything. And I remember I surrounded myself with flowers and I did an altar and I was praying and I had candles and incense and I was just doing like a ritual of releasing. And all of a sudden, as I was in that, I felt my higher self come to me face to face. And at first, I didn't recognize myself because I was gorgeous. And not saying that I'm not gorgeous now, but it was just like such a light, right? Like, not flesh, it was light. And I heard within my heart space say, this moment, I'm so glad you're doing this moment because this moment is what creates me now. Like, that part of me was telling me, because I sat in that moment of my sorrow and was letting it go and just being fully raw and naked with myself in every way possible without the judgment, where I was just like, I'm in pain and I want to let it go, but I don't know how. And here I am, I'm doing this stuff and I want it. I want to let it go. And then I heard my spirit come in and say, because you're doing this now, I'm here. Like, because I did that now, I am becoming the version of that I always have dreamt of, that gorgeous light that I saw. And having that glimpse of a moment was so freaking cool, one. And two, like, recognizing this, even though it feels really painful, it's having an effect, right? And I was able to have this double experience at the same time, right? And that's why I truly believe that we're multiple, I'm getting totally tongue tied. We live in multiple realities, right? And that we never really um die, right? We just continue to change form, right? We're everlasting, right? Like nothing is ever really like an energy, nothing could ever be created nor destroyed. It could look like that, but it just keeps birthing in a different way. That's why you'll hear a lot of reincarnation stories. You'll hear a lot of kids sharing about their past lives, and kids speaking about how they chose their mother, right? To come to this earth. And what's interesting is they choose the mother, and the mother chooses the partner. So the child doesn't necessarily choose the father, which is interesting enough, but in our patriarchal kind of society, we don't want to like we don't acknowledge that. But in the truth of like when I've learned about this and even digesting it in truth in my resonancy of body, it's like we choose our mother and our mother chooses our father. And so just know that as feminine, we we hold a really sacred place of choice, of portal, for those of us who hold feminine bodies, right? A lot of times we're like, oh well, the child chose the mother, the father. That would be very difficult because it's hard to get all of that. But what they do is they choose the mother. That's why things are inherited really through the mother line, right? And I'm not going to go through all that right now. We can talk about that another time, but I'm just sharing this information. Like right now, going into the rawness of the pain, the stiffness of your heart, because I almost feel like a lot of you are so numb that you don't feel anything. And that's why we gotta start asking the question, what's happening inside my heart? What is happening here? Right? And I want to live in the most authentic way because we have the potential to create something really beautiful and step into timelines that are that are beautiful for us, right? So I hope this message really spoke to you. I know for me, I feel very like very calm and like silent so that I could hear, right? And you may even notice that in my energy right now, where it may come off like to you like I'm slower pace, or maybe even tired. But it's more like I'm just more in that curious space of looking at the heart, looking at what's going on, because that is a deep place and it doesn't necessarily use words, it uses the emotional body. So listen to your body today, the emotions that come through your body, the waves of body. And if you find that you have a lot of soreness up here, a lot of tightness, right? You feel like you can't really move this area of your body, that is a signal that you're hovering, you're holding on to something that you don't want to let go, and you need to let it go now and practice forgiveness with yourself. Talk with yourself, right? Light that candle and speak with that candle. Be present with that candle for 20 minutes and speak to it, because you're speaking to the light, right? Let it be the symbol of light, right? If you have water, water carries memories. Speak to the water, right? Here, this is help remind me of my truth. I'm letting go of this. Carry away this energy with the water. If you're looking at the fire, let the fire burn it away and turn everything to ash. And then use those ashes to bring back life, right? If you're in the wind, because you're outside and you're feeling the wind, let the wind speak to you. Let it carry away the pain, right? Ask the wind to flow through you, run through your body, and carry it out of you. If you're talking to the earth, put your hands on the Madre Tierra, on the beautiful earth, and say, I thank you for transmuting this energy. And you touch and you connect. Their elements are here to help us because we are not separate from them, right? Our magic, our healing doesn't come just by like one moment. Oh, I forgive and we walk on. there's more to it, right? And our body is a very big indicator. If you're in pain, your body is aching, it's because you're holding on to too much and it's time to let it go. All right, my beautiful souls. Thank you for being here with me. I would love to chat with you. You can book your awareness call at my site, Soy La Medicina. It's a 30-minute free call. We just talk, pull out some cards, and see what comes out for you. I would love to see what's going on in your heart. If you feel called to really go deep and talk to someone who's going to listen, I'm here to listen. All right. It was beautiful being here with you, from my heart to yours, de mi corazón hasta la tuya. Chao, mi gente. Te quiero.